I'm Rose.
And I'm Ram.
And this is the Rose and Ram podcast.
Welcome.
First episode. This is exciting.
Yes.
All right, so let's get into it. This weekend, we did a Scream marathon. We watched Scream 1 through 6, and then we finally got to watch Scream 7. Well, honestly, we watched Scream 7 first, and then we went back to watch Scream 1 through 6. And let me tell you, I was a fan before watching the movie, the marathon. I do not know if I am a fan. After watching that, I was
You're a fan of Scream.
I was like, do I like Scream? And I remember like having a friend who used to tell me like, I don't like Scream. And at the time I was like, what are you talking about? Scream is amazing. And then rewatching it, I was like, I don't know. But there's a lot to get into. When we watched Scream 7, I hated it and you loved it, right?
I didn't say love. I appreciated it.
No, you was like, this is great. And I was like, that was awful. So
no, there were elements of Scream 7 that I enjoyed, especially when it comes to a slasher. And one of those elements, sadly enough, is the way someone gets murdered. Like, depending on how like vicious it is, like especially when a slasher does it, I'm like, oh, this is good or this is not good. Mm-hmm. That's what I was really judging it on. There was, yeah. We get a little bit into it more later.
Yeah, no.
But,
and you've seen all of the Friday the 13th. You've seen all of the Halloweens.
We gotta be really like careful with that because there's like the main Friday the 13th, and then there's like these weird jump offs. Like, I mean, like Jason X. We're not gonna get into that. It's Jason in space.
Is there a Jason Space? Okay.
Yeah. So
and wait, I think they made fun of that in Scream 4. Do you remember when they talked about there's a stab in space?
There's a stab in space. That's exactly what they're making fun of. So I would say
oh no.
I for the slasher genre, I definitely went from, I would say like the original 4 of each, like Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, and the Halloweens. I would say Halloweens I'm the most consistent with because the story still stays kind of like grounded in like the Michael Myers lore. Like there's no Michael Myers 1,000 years in the future type like movie, or like Michael Myers in the Bronx. Like, well, I'm just saying.
Well, talking about Michael Myers, let's get into Scream 7 because I kind of felt like Scream 7 was trying to be like the new Halloween reboot, but let's get into it. First off, what do you like about Scream and what brought you to it?
Well, we all know what Scream is, right? Right?
Yes.
We all know what Scream is, hopefully. And if you was born in the 90s, there was no way you can get away without knowing what it was.
Yeah.
I would say, crazy enough, I saw the parodies of Scream first, and then I saw Scream like a little bit after. Like I didn't watch Scream when it came out in 1998.
Yeah, I think we were kids.
Because
thank God.
I saw a Scary Movie.
Yes.
When it came out.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Wow. Actually, you know what? Scary Movie was so iconic. So did I think as well.
So eventually, I was like, what are they making fun of? And so I went like, a little bit after that. And I was like,
you did your research.
I was like, this is what it is. So I only watched 1 and 2. I never went past that though. But I think at that time there was only 1 and 2. I don't even think 3 came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, I don't know if this was your story too, but I remember we had some similar stories. I was in summer camp one day, and they put on Scream for some reason. I think the 3rd movie had just come out, and there was a Scream marathon, and I was like very young, but ever since then I've loved the franchise, and it's been really amazing to grow up with it and to also go back, like you said, and watch like Halloween and watch like Friday the 13th and Nightmare Before Elm Street and Prom Night and all the other slashers that they're making fun of. And I don't know, like have love for those slashers and I don't know, I think Scream was so iconic and refreshing, and it was something new, and it was peak 90s, and I don't know, it was a moment.
No, you're right. It was refreshing, and I wish I was like a teenager
to understand
when it first came out, because I was like, if you're coming off of like the last slashers you saw were the originals, like Halloween, Friday, Elm Street, even though he kind of blends the lines of slasher, right?
Yeah.
So those are all the classic tropes,
which, for those who don't know, Wes Craven, who directs Scream, also directs Elm Street as well.
Yes.
Right? Yes. Good. Continue.
So it's what do you call it? Imagine you're 18, all of a sudden this new movie comes out. You're like, oh, here we go. Someone's getting stabbed, right? Oh, I guess I'll go because I need to be scared, right? You go to the movies, all of a sudden, it's like an introspect on like the whole genre, right? Even on top of that, like the reasoning behind the killers are like so different from all the traditional killers.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that was what makes it very. And they were teenagers.
Yeah,
you know,
and it was
why.
a completely different format. It was this kind of like mystery, right?
Yeah,
which
it
is
was
very
a mystery
different.
Yeah.
It was engaging and cool. But so let's get into Scream 7.
Right.
I felt like when I was leaving the theater or while I was watching it, I was just bored. Like I felt like there was nothing new. I was disappointed. And I felt like we've been here before. And, you know, per usual, it was like really leaning onto the nostalgia. And I feel like Scream, because it's so meta, it does that a lot. Like you have Scream 1 and then Scream 2 is like talking a lot about Stab, which is like in Scream 1. And I think Scream 4 does that as well, in which they're repeating a lot of the stuff where even like
you get
the murders, you're getting a lot of drawbacks. It's like they're repeating the murders that happen in the movies or books. Right. And I think Scream 5 did it too, where they're also like paying homage by
because they went back to the original town.
Went back to the original town, and they're like paying homage by copying like what happened, whether it's like copying murders, copying locations, copying how it's done, whether it's like the hot blonde and then the friend or whatever. But I think so by time we got, and I do want to say for all those movies, I felt like it made sense. Like one of the things I love, because you know my favorite Scream is Scream 4, the best Scream. And one of the things I love about Scream 4 is like, there's a lot of copying, but never like, I just felt like they also had a lot of like new and fun and fresh things to say. And I felt like in Scream 4 in particular, like they paid a lot of homage, but they did something new in the end. And I thought it was really cool. Spoiler, but it is an old movie, but it was really cool at the time.
Listen.
We're doing all spoilers.
Like a decade,
it's a decade old.
So
but I thought it was really cool to have like her niece be the killer. You know, I think that was something
very unique.
Very unique. And I think,
why would you look at you would never look at your family to be the one that's doing it.
And they didn't understanding at the time, but the commentary was just like they talked about like screaming and internet culture and clout and, you know, all these things that was
being famous. And what
being
it means
famous
in the 2010s and stuff like that. Or like the digital age.
The digital age, yeah. And
mind you, what do you call it? In Facebook and Instagram was like still in their like growing stages. It wasn't like how it is today.
Absolutely. And I think that's why it went over a lot of people's heads. Like I think a lot of people didn't, they was just, I feel like they was like, what is this? But I remember when I watched it, there was something in my teen brain that was like, this is amazing. But to take it back to Scream 7, I'm just like, why are we here? And I can't help but make like, you're going to have to help me out with this because you're like a Star Wars fan. But I can't help but see like, and I'm not the Star Wars fan, so I might get things wrong. But I can't help but see like the Star Wars comparison where it's kind of like, which they even hearken to it in Scream 5, where it's like, hey, it's a requel. You have the legacy characters, but people doing their own thing. They're really trying to carve out a new lane with this new character that happens in, you know, the first part of the trilogy and the second part of the trilogy. And then in the third part, they kind of just backtrack completely. And especially with The Force Awakens, was that Star Wars?
Yes, number 7.
It was the same thing. 7, The Force Awakens kind of just redid everything that happened in like Star Wars
4, 5, 4, yeah.
Yeah, so.
I think that the issue is, one, I wouldn't judge Scream for that because of like what Scream's about. Scream's about someone that comes and kills a bunch of people every single time, right? That is the main plot of the entire movie. So they don't ever have to change, like, you know, the script in those senses. Now, the what do you call it? Why the killer's doing what they do, how he's doing it, sure, they can mix it up, right? That's not the case for Star Wars. Star Wars is kind of like it should be, what do you call it? A step-by-step story, right? Of course, the Skywalker saga is from 1 to 6, right? So you see the Skywalker saga from when Anakin is first introduced all the way to 6, when, you know, his son is the one that, you know, brings balance to the Force, right? Once that story was complete, to do the same exact thing in 7, 8, and 9, it just fell apart, because that's not what Star Wars was about. Star Wars is a story of the Skywalker family. But once they completed their mission, there should be no reason why you're doing it again, right? Now for Scream, it works because, you know why? Copycat killers are popular, right? Copycat killers, someone's always murdering someone, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't need to be like refreshing or like matter of fact, I think it's even better when it pulls more from the past, because at least that it'll connect that movie to the one before it. You know?
Interesting. I like that. So what did you like about Scream 7 off the bat, or what didn't? I know you said off. How did you feel about the kills? Did you like the kills?
Oh, yeah. Mind you, we all know that like once like the killer puts the Ghostface mask on, they're borderline like, I'm trying to think of a.
Oh, they're Vin Diesel.
Not even Vin Diesel. No, they're like a
franchise.
mix of John Wick and another, what's this guy's name? Jason Bourne. Like they're borderline. They're sneaky. They're quiet. They can move faster than you can think. There was a scene. This is a spoiler, by the way. There's a scene where he's literally like 2 steps behind this girl. She's crawling in the kitchen. He's about to stab her in the back, right? She swings around to stab him. Mind you, the very scene we just saw him, he gets replaced with another person, an innocent person. That person gets stabbed. Ghostface comes back into the scene, right? Out of the clear blue, snaps that guy's neck, and then proceeds to kill the girl. I was like, that takes a high... First of all, that's beyond skill.
Yeah.
And that's what I like sometimes. I do like how, like, we get annoyed that, because we know inside the costume, Ghostface is a regular person.
Yeah.
Right? So whenever we're seeing Ghostface, like, go after the victims, we're like, oh my God, you could just jump on him and gang him and you'd be fine, right? That's what you think, right? Until you notice how crafty he is, right? Or she, or plural, right? Right, multiple of them.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes Ghostface so cool. And I think I saw that a lot in this movie, especially with, we all know that there's usually 2, you know. Of course, they've done like one once in a while, but only one time they did one.
And, you know, 6 was...
And then 6 was...
3.
So, and in 7, it was more of, I would say there was 3 there too. Yeah.
There was. It flew over my head.
There was 3 people. It's just the first one died so quick.
I did want to say, it's so funny because I have in my notes, like, I miss when Scream was like goofy. I think one of the things I loved about, but I do like your take, and I think it's valid. And your take, I don't know. I feel like that's just your Dead by Daylight brain. Like, he reminds me of the Scream that I'm playing or I'm running from in that game. But I liked when Scream was like inexperienced and he was goofy and he tripped over things and he fell over things and they made mistakes, and you see their plan, like,
I understand.
You see their plan just unraveling in front of them, because in that moment you realize, oh, these are just kids. And I think that was like the terror and the horror of like the original Scream, where it's like any guy can put on the mask and be Ghostface. And I think that showed in his inexperience. But, you know, we are 30 years later, and Ghostface is allowed to evolve. And one of the things I do like about Ghostface character is that he's like a ghost, that he's like Batman. He's there one second, one minute he's there, and one minute he's not. And I like the idea of also, I agree. Like, I think it's cool that Ghostface is like, could be like Vin Diesel / John Wick. And I like that evolution and growth. I wonder if it's a little gimmicky and if it's kind of like what they're making, like, you know how in like Halloween, for example, or, you know, like, or in any like slasher or horror movie, like the antagonist is invincible. you know?
Yes,
So
yeah.
I did think that was a cool thing that made Ghostface special, that he wasn't necessarily invincible.
And they
by
still
doing
keep that though. They still
Yeah.
keep like, as like in Scream 7, they kill one of the Ghostface
One of the
within the
three.
first one of the three within like 20 minutes of the movie. So like it's still like you do have a chance.
I just think that's
like,
bad writing, but I'll hold you in that.
I love that, like when you see Ghostface come at you, you do have a chance. Like you have an incredible chance that you're gonna survive, but you have to also remember that Ghostface has luck on his side to the highest degree.
Yeah.
Because I remember, well, there was fighting the first kill of the movie at the original house, at the original killer house. She just happened to
That kill was actually really awesome.
She fell off the balcony, she fell off the balcony and she was hanging on to the chandelier, right? And she was trying to get back on. She falls and Ghostface just turns around and just stabs her clean through. And so I'm like, wow.
I like that.
That was not planned. That was just life. And life is on Ghostface's side for most of the movie.
So you're saying like you think you're not annoyed because this happens a lot. You're not annoyed when the main like kind of like plot of Scream is like recycled over and over and over. It doesn't bore you.
It's the same for Halloween. I don't mind that the plot that he comes back every Halloween for one of those family members, some sister, cousin, auntie,
Thank you. I like that.
Whatever. Come back, man. Let's see what you got, and terrorize a new town.
Okay.
I'm fine with that. It's almost like watching Power Rangers. Like, what every episode of Power Rangers is going to be.
Okay.
And we loved it. It's like, so.
I like that. Yeah. So then what should really drive Scream is the commentary.
Yes.
And the killers.
Yes.
And I think that is what Scream 7 was sorely, and the characters, charismatic characters. Yes. And I think that is what Scream 7 was sorely lacking.
And I agree with you on that. Like, wholeheartedly. Those killers.
Oh my God.
Are so forgettable.
Do we, wait, we'll get it. No, go, please.
If you take a call back to the past, Scream 2, right? The main killer is Billy's mom, right? Who we barely interacted with throughout the entire movie. I think only two people interacted with her. That was the reporter. What's her name?
I disagree.
She bumped into her like multiple times.
Yes,
and
that's why I disagree.
I didn't like how she didn't have like her presence just didn't feel strong enough. And I understand why, because she's Billy's mom with plastic surgery, so she has to really keep it low key to make sure that no one figures anything out. And the other killer was someone in the friend group. It was the other guy.
Yeah, the other guy. That's how I feel about that.
That's how it is, right? That's kind of like what they did for 7. The main killer was the mother. I forgot.
I didn't even think
mother,
about
right?
that.
We saw her 3 times maybe in the movie, and she only talked maybe for 30 seconds at a time.
Yeah.
And the other killer, who was the guy at the asylum, really
we didn't know him. I remember and I feel like this was an experience for everyone who watched it. I remember being in the movie theaters watching it for you, and oh my gosh, I'm sorry, Greg, we're spoiling everything for you. But I remember watching it and turning to you and being like, who is that? And I remember you was like, I think you knew, you were like, is that the guy from the asylum? And I was like, what?
I had to go back in my memory of the movie. I was like, wait, I've seen him talk. And I was like, oh, I guess you want to be but he's supposed to be the throwaway killer. And I understand that.
Yeah.
There's usually one head and then the other one just joins on. So he doesn't really have any plans. I was fine with that. It was just the main one. I wish that we got to see her integrated into whatever was going on more. Like in 4, which is your favorite, the niece is deeply embedded. Matter of fact, she's part of the friend group.
And I do same with Scream 1. It was Stu and Billy. I do want to say for the second one, I did feel like we saw the reporter a lot. Like I felt like she had a character.
You're right. We saw her a lot.
When she was the killer, I was like, classic whodunit, it makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember you didn't like it. You were like, who? Why is this random girl there? Yeah. But I really think they made a point to like establish this character. Because remember her and Gail, her and Gail got into it. So, but I do agree with you. In this Scream, this mom, she just popped up once or twice. I have in my notes, is Scream a good whodunit? And I also have like, I think I disserviced myself by treating Scream as a whodunit, because whenever like the killer, especially in the most recent ones, and especially in this trilogy, in particular, when in the most recent trilogy, when they reveal it, I never like it, and my brain immediately like shuts off, and that's not what I should do, because that's when the commentary comes in.
Who was the killers in Scream 5?
Scream 5, remember, I hated it. It was her boyfriend and Mikey Madison and Honora. And then, you know, in Scream 6, it was the detective and his daughters, which you knew. Yeah, you watched it and you clocked it.
I clocked it 20 minutes into the movie. I was like, yeah, these two. Well, I thought the blonde-haired girl was the killer first. And then the dad, I was just like, nah, you're too close to this, man. It's like way too close.
This gets into Scream commentary. You said this. You was like, Sydney is the audience. Yes. Right? And and it's usually like the killer, I don't know who the killer is, but the killer is talking maybe about stuff that's going on in society.
Yes.
And I think that's
important to them.
That's important to them. So let's get into that.
Yeah.
Talk to me about it.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So I came to this epiphany while we was watching it. I think it was number 3 when I finally figured out. I was like, oh, Cindy is now us in this moment. Because why is the killer taking their time to do? I mean, it's classic, like villains explaining their plan. But at the same time, they're like projecting to Cindy. And Cindy's just there sitting, watching, waiting, right? So she's absorbing information. What are we doing?
Yeah.
The exact same thing. We're sitting in our seats, listening to the killer go through, you know,
their evil plan.
Evil plan going through life. Like, for instance, in Scream 2, it was about parts of motherhood and and what do you call it, growing up and things of that nature. And sometimes some levels of, you know, what do you call it? I guess toxic masculinity, because she's like, I raised this boy myself, right?
Yeah.
Mind you, she raised him and he became that, right?
Yeah.
So that was wild. Like, is it her fault? Is it society's fault? Who knows, right? She's in pain and mourning. We understand that. In Scream 3, I hate to say it, but that commentary was more about movies, I think.
Yeah, don't hate to say it. It was a commentary on what was going on in the Hollywood industry that we wasn't privy to at the time.
It's so funny because if you flash forward like 10 years later in the 2010s, all this stuff about Hollywood comes out and it's just like, wow.
Yeah.
Right? You know, it's like,
very ahead of their time.
We really see what's going on, you know, exploitation, sexual exploitation, all those things. So I think it's really cool that the, you know, how she's written is that she has to bear witness to like these important parts of society that's happening. These like dangerous parts of societies or just society itself, like whatever that era is bringing, right? And I think, that's real cool.
Did you have a killer who was your favorite? And of course, it cannot be Billy and Stu. That's not fair.
Can I have Stu be one of them?
No. It's default, of course. It's default.
Stu would have been I'm talking about a perfect serial killer. If he was able to get out, he would have been. I watched a lot of shows either catching serial killers or there are serial killers. Like, he could have been in Dexter. Of course, Dexter probably would have like got him out of here quick, but he would have been fun, you know?
Okay.
Dexter would have been fun. I'm just saying.
I felt like Stu was a little too goofy. I think, like, I can't take him serious. It was giving like you're the henchman.
I don't even think he's goofy. I think it's more about mentally where he's at. Like, he really didn't care. He could have did anything. You could have told him, hey, let's go open an ice cream shop. You're like, sure, we'll do that. Hey, go save some babies. He'll do that. Like, that's like what he was like. He almost gives a Jason type thing, because Jason only takes like orders from his mom, or his dead mom, or however else that played out. And Stu was just like that. He's a blank slate that you can make into anything, and I think that's a really scary killer. But in terms of the plot for Scream 1, yes, he was on the side. Billy was the one with the plan and everything. And I think what was his speech that he gave Cindy?
Oh, this was like not really commentary because I feel like it was the first movie. It was commentary, but not like for the audience.
The whole movie itself was like...
Yeah, he just wanted revenge on her because...
His mom.
It's something about his mom. It was good. He wanted revenge on her because he blamed what happened with the divorce between his mom and his dad and his mom leaving. On Cindy's mom. Yeah. So he wanted revenge, and I think he was a white kid in suburbia who had just watched one too many horror movies, and he wanted to bring that to life, and that's how he acted it out, which was good. I liked it.
And if you think about it, Scream, I would say Scream 2 kind of validate Scream 1 because they're like so deeply connected, especially with the mother. Like you're looking at two different sides of the situation, right? You're looking at it from the child's side, Billy's side, and from the mother's side, and you see how what they was going through, like family problems, still led them to the same conclusion.
Yeah. And I think it also like continued this narrative of like how are killers like made.
Yes.
You know, are they born or are they bred?
Mm-hmm.
At the time I didn't like the mom being the killer, but I think I remember you liking it. And I think over time it's like, yeah, I like it. I think it's a good. I felt it came out of left field, but in hindsight I thought it was like really good.
I liked it. I just wish that we saw her more, not as the mother, but as a reporter, like going head to head with Gail. That would have been cool. You know, it just felt more like she was in the way. Every time Gail was trying to step around, she's always bumping into her, and she's like, Gail's like, move out the way. Like,
which is why I didn't think she came out of left field. What did we think about the killer for 3?
You mean her long lost
brother? That was bad. That's why that was the last one for a long time.
And it's funny too, because in the movie they're telling you why, like the trilogy, what a trilogy means to like to a series, and it's like you wasn't taking your own advice while you was making the movie. Like you did exactly what you was not supposed to do. And it's like, we're gonna make a twist, and they definitely had a twist because having your half brother who was truly the one to get Billy to become a serial killer. Yeah. It was, we'll leave that one alone.
We'll leave that alone.
It's like Spider-Man. It's like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 3. It's like, hey, I see what you tried to do here, but it didn't work out. Sorry.
And I do want to, since we're talking about like serial killers, are they born and bred? I do want to get into like the most recent trilogy 5 and 6, where they were kind of like gearing up for, I think the actress name was Melissa's character. They were hinting towards her going down the dark side
because of her parentage. But I think and it's funny you said that, right? But if you remember in Scream 6 at the very end, while she's holding the ghost mask, right, and she's like conflicted and she's hearing her dad's force ghost in her ear telling her to go to the dark side.
These directors and writers really love Star Wars because there's a lot of parallels.
Right. And she decides, well, her sister, Gina Ortega's character, is the one that pulls her back, right? And like brings her back to the light. So she drops the mask and they're walking away from the mask and the mask on the ground. So in my opinion, I think is that was showing that she's not going to go down that path. Now, what I will say though is, the way it was set up, I thought she was gonna become like that final girl that we was all like trying to get towards, like with like Jamie Lee Curtis. Like Jamie Lee Curtis is so strong in Halloween now, right? Like, but she took time to get there, and I feel like Cindy, they really, even though she took some shooting lessons, you know, and she put like locks on the doors, but she never got to a level where like she was the boogeyman for the boogeyman. Yeah. What's the name? What's the character's name again?
I think it's let's say her name is Melissa's character, but I'll look it up while you talk.
So Melissa's character, from the moment that she was able to kill them in 6, I thought I was like, okay, she's gonna be the one. Like she's gonna bring in that, like, you have to worry about me. I don't gotta worry about you type situation, which would have changed how we saw Ghostface. And it may have not been a good direction.
Sam, her character's name was Sam.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been a good direction. Maybe if Sam became the actual, like, it'd be Sam versus Ghostface, because maybe it only does work for Jamie Lee Curtis versus what do you call it? Michael Myers. Because not all killers you should be able to fight toe to toe. I
do want to interject and say, like, I like that in hindsight they did that with Sydney's characterization. I think I like the idea that, because, you know, we don't need another. Also, I like Sam, by the way. I like Sam as well. Great. But I think it's cool to have really a different
like character.
Yeah. R.I.P. But I think it's really cool to have a final girl who, I don't know, is introspective, you know, and she's worked on her healing and she's wrote books about it and she's done like whatever she could to like move past it
and have a life.
And have a life. And in this, I kind of want to like get into Scream 7 a bit more. I think like what was the commentary they were trying to make too? Because a big part of the Scream 7 commentary, or like a lot of the dialogue, what was talked about, it's like you left, you didn't deal with the events in New York. And it's kind of like, we know why she left. So I think that was really bad writing and messy writing. And B, it's kind of like, but you know, they were building up towards a series of her healing and her growth, and it worked. You can't have Scream without Sydney, don't get me wrong there, but I think it was well written in a way where it worked for her to like take that step back, that she healed, that she let it go.
It's kind of like I fought long enough. Yeah, a new hero can take up the mantle.
A new hero could take up the mantle, and I think that worked perfectly. And I think in this new Scream to kind of like try, I don't know, it feels like a fundamental misunderstanding of the journey that Sydney's character had went through.
Well, we have to also think about it. Ghostface, the mother in 7, she don't know Cindy's life.
Yeah.
This is from her perspective of what she thinks Cindy did. The same way she took Cindy's book as a self-help book.
Yeah. As her like Bible.
And said like, hey, maybe I should be a serial killer, right?
That's valid.
Yeah, so we're looking, and I feel like they were making fun of the whole genre of self-help, which is very popular. Like, let's say self-help became like a big thing since when? Let's say 2018, 2017. Yeah. Everybody has something about self-help. Tons and tons of social media profiles about self-help. Everything's about self-help, self-care, you know, all those things. They were shining a light on like how toxic it could be. Right? Because this woman,
I didn't
this
think
woman
about that.
took Cindy's story, right, of Cindy's growth and printed it on herself, and decided to make some very poor decisions in her life. Of course, we know what she went through. This is also a spoiler. The reason she started on this path, was her husband was abusive.
Yeah, she was abused.
So that's the first start. So that's already a trigger in and of itself. So that self-help along with her already fragile state led her to the decision that I have to kill my husband. Right?
Yeah.
After she does that, she still wasn't fulfilled though. And as she's not fulfilled, what does she do? She's like, oh, the one that caused me misery is Cindy. Well, really, it's inside yourself. And it was even scary because like she killed her son, which is wild. Like she killed her own son. Like that was like, whoa.
It's funny. I wanted to say, because in my notes, I had put that sometimes the killer is like, it's always someone you know. And I felt like in this movie, like they turn it on its head, where it's like it's someone who thinks that they know you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say it made it a little hard this time because everybody seemed like such a good person, like the main group. So like we know it wasn't the twins.
Yeah.
It couldn't be the twins because that's never been done. Like a character from an old movie is the villain in a new movie.
Yeah.
So we know it wasn't them.
Wait. Did you say that's never been not in Scream?
And not in Scream. Not in Scream.
Other movies.
In other movies
that we will not name. But yeah. Continue.
Oh man. So the other teenagers, none of them really felt. Of course, they had the guy that was like obsessed with like, you know, serial killers and stuff. But that was just two. That was low hanging fruit. So we knew it wasn't him.
Yeah.
We knew it wasn't the black girl, her friend. We knew it wasn't the blonde hair. It's never. That.
It's never her. Also, she died very quickly.
6, it was a blonde hair girl.
Okay.
but it was really hard to tell who, like make a case about who did it. Mm-hmm. That's why I say Scream movies are not who did it movies.
I know.
Because there's breadcrumbs. I
agree.
There are breadcrumbs that step. Some Scream movies are better breadcrumbs than others.
Yeah.
But in general, that's not the case.
How do we feel about the rest of the commentary in terms of AI? How do we feel about them trying to bring Stu back? Sorry, I can't pronounce his last name.
It is what it is. I wish
you didn't like it.
I didn't really like it. I wish it had like a greater impact. I know the impact was to promote trauma, right? Yeah. It was trauma for Cindy. That's what it was. It was making Cindy, you know, like relive all the things that she already is like, you know, move past or like come to terms with. Yeah. Right? Like I think by 4, when she's writing the book, right, she's already coming to terms of like her first boyfriend being her killer, and trying to kill her, and the mother revenge, and even though she never talks about it, finding out she had a half brother and he died in the same day, like all that's impactful. But we know once that third movie ends, she lets a man into her life. They get married, right? They have children. She writes a book. So again, the killer was like, oh, you didn't get past all this, so I'm gonna show it to you, right? Yeah. And it's like, of course, Cindy already did, right? But it's still gonna like invoke an emotional response if you see people that, you know, tormented you in your past. You're gonna still be mad about it. Matter of fact, you may be more mad that someone's making fun of the situation. And I think that's what the killer was trying to do, but it could have been done
better. I agree. I felt like it was regressive.
Yeah.
To me, it's like we've been through this, we've passed this, and it's like they're trying to pull her back. And I understand the idea was like, we want to continue to the story. Yeah. So let's make a Sydney 2.0. Let's make her daughter the new Sydney. But I would say it felt like very cheap. And I also, when you've got to connect it to the trilogy that it's connected to. Exactly. When you connect it to the other two movies, it's kind of just like, what are we doing?
It's no attachments.
Yeah.
Of course, the only attachment is the original cast, but we do have the twins.
Yeah.
So that is an attachment.
Which they were charming, but even then I felt like their character felt botched. It was kind of like, why are they Gale Weathers
apprentices, I guess?
Yeah, apprentices, interns. Like, where did that come from? Like, oh, she's passionate about being a reporter now? Like, why?
Did they finish their degree at NYU? Because that's what was going on in the 6th one, right?
Especially, I think, with the twins, because they were Randy's nieces and nephew. Yes, like, it would have been really cool if they went down like the film school, like if they were able to complete what he couldn't complete, which is get their film school degree and be directors or something. And maybe that's what they were hinting at, like they're in the media somehow, but it felt I don't know,
it felt closer to like
lazy
doing Gail's legacy than,
than Randy's. You know, I think that would have been a great end circle. But and I really like that you brought up it being about trauma, because I think that's what really disappointed me. It's like we get that. I felt like these are such big topics that really could have been explored about like trauma and how do you heal and how you pass it on to your kids and how do you make your kids strong? How do you deal with that fear and that anxiety? And I didn't think they did a good job of exploring it. I felt nothing. And it was so disappointed because this was the movie where I should feel something. Yeah. I should feel excitement that Sydney's back. I should feel some type of love or, you know, caring or something warm to her daughter. And I don't feel any of these things. I would say I liked the choice that Sydney made of trying to protect her daughter, because that was a big thing. Like, she kind of hid her daughter from the world, and when Ghostface came back, her daughter didn't know how to deal with it.
Right.
That was a choice I really liked, because I felt like it was like very reasonable. Like, I felt like Sydney never wanted anything to do with any of this. So of course she would try to hide her daughter from it the way she wished she was hid from it, you know? I also felt that it had a lot to say, or it was trying to say a lot about mother-daughter relationships.
Oh, of course. Absolutely.
And it didn't, I don't know, this is going to sound really bad, but it definitely made me want to watch I think it was 2018, like Halloween. I kind of feel like, you know, from things I've seen or read, like Halloween does it better. Like Halloween does like the
family bonds.
Parent
and child.
Parent and child, and how the trauma really, that generational trauma affected them, how it weathered the protagonist, and how that effect has on the kids. Like, it made me feel like, I feel like you're trying to do this and they did it better, so let me watch this. And I think that was very disappointing. It felt hollow and it didn't feel earned. It feels like you're trying to evoke an emotion in me, but it doesn't make sense. It's like, why is your daughter mad at you about things that, like, you know, like it's this scene where her daughter's mad at her because Sydney never wants to talk about it, but Sydney has talked about it over and over and over. She wrote a book about it. Exactly. Like, what is there to talk about anymore? Like,
yes. But I feel like the reason, and this is just me vouching for the daughter, that she's saying talk about it is because she feels like her life is she's stifled. Like, I guess in her teen angst, she's feeling stifled.
In her teen angst.
And she's like, if we're safe, right, as we should be, why are you still going so hard, you know, trying to protect me? Like what's out there, you know? And to be honest, if I was Cindy, I would have just been like, a killer could come back at any time. Not even gonna hold you. Yeah. It sounds crazy, but hey, I've been through this 4 times already. So
no, 5, I think. Yeah, 5.
5 times. So hey, even if it's not even about me, someone's gonna call me and be like, "Yo, it's happening again, Cindy." So come down and handle this for us. Yeah. So,
do you think that decision should have been made to like make her daughter a warrior, or is that hard?
No, you can't just make someone a warrior. I mean, since she could have given her, like, I guess some self-defense classes, taught her how to shoot. Sure, that could have been integrated in, but I don't even think that happens in Halloween. Yeah. It doesn't, to my knowledge. I think from a parent point of view. So, since I'm not a parent, right? Outside looking in, it makes perfect sense to have to train your children up, like, so they can defend themselves, right? But the other side can also happen where it's like, they shouldn't have to do that. I'll do it myself. So both perspectives, there's no right or wrong in that. You know, so you're like, as long as I'm alive, nothing's gonna happen to my kids. Yeah. So I think it was a choice. It was a choice.
It was a choice. Yeah, you know. It was a choice. I do want to get into the other characters, but I feel they're so unrememberable. What is there to get into? I like the black girl because she was black. I'm sorry.
I promise you, I thought she was going to escape that bar. I thought she was gonna make it.
And that's another thing. It's like Scream. You wrote the book on in Scream 2, the black guy. You made it out. Like, there was commentary on that about the black person not making it to the end.
I feel like they said, "Hey, we let 2 black people survive, so we can kill off 1." That's what they was like. We got to give somewhere. Oh, no. So this, even though I was like, you know, I mean, it's funny. I'm an adult now, so I'm like, damn, these poor teenagers, they're just getting tore up. Yeah. And I'm just like, we didn't have to kill a little black girl. But at the same time, all of them got done dirty. Now, this is the part that I liked, right? Oh, yeah. The way that Ghostface was taking them out was insane. The one girl, he had her strung up in the...
That was also a really awesome
horrifying death. Kill. And the way he did it was like a fatality. Like from Mortal Kombat stuff.
I would say they had a lot of Easter eggs. So it's very cute for it to be in theater. And, that reminded me of like Scream 2 when her boyfriend was strung up and killed.
Yep.
So stuff like that, it was cute, I guess. Maybe you cooked, but continue. Yeah, the blonde girl, she didn't really have much personality, but she had a great kill.
Yeah, it was a good kill. Opinion. And I feel like she added,
she had it going.
Spark to the group.
Okay.
A little pizzazz.
Okay.
Not everybody's like, main character. I definitely did like I only know him from The Boys, but
I think it was the killer's son.
The killer's son. Say? Yes, the killer's son. I liked his character. I liked his interactions with the black girl as well. They were like nice. Also, that kill was great because they died right next to each other on the ground. Like, that was perfect for a cinematic scene. Like, young lovers dying together. Mm-hmm. Also, the way he died was insane. He got lifted up by his head.
Ooh.
Right? Like on some Michael Myers. Mind you, Ghostface don't have super strength.
Yeah.
So I average, he was like 6 feet, right?
Yeah.
He has to be probably like 170. Let's say that. 175. Lifting a 175 person up by their head and then placing them on a beer spout was wild. I was like, we've never seen Ghostface do something like that. I felt like those were callbacks to Michael Myers. Michael Myers would do that to you. Like he'll lift you up and like impale you on a coat rack and you just be sitting there dead. So they got very creative in the way the killer finished people off. And that's what I really appreciated.
Okay.
Also, there was a heavy callback on the asylum, right? Because as soon as they went to the asylum, I was like, oh, Halloween. And Halloween, again, I was at Halloween and Friday the 13th are deeply embedded, we all know, in the Scream franchise. Like a lot of the concepts, and they do great with it. But the first killer was he was a patient, right?
Okay.
Patient, random person, right? Mm-hmm. He escaped the facility. Mm-hmm. Everyone was looking for him. He was hiding in their attic. They never explained how he got in that attic.
Yeah.
I told you, but he was there like the whole time. I was like, oh, that was some real scary stuff. He almost took out the whole family that night. Like, yeah, remember, he almost took out Cindy, the dad, and the daughter.
Yes.
All in the same night. And I think that was cool. I liked how I would say more effort was put on Ghostface in terms of inside the mask. Outside of the mask, I feel like they could have done better. But inside the mask, Ghostface lived up to everything they were supposed to be.
I think it's interesting because I want to harken back to what you said earlier about Stu. I don't know if I got it right or if you remember, but I remember you was like, Stu was like a blank face, and like blank Stu could have a slate, like he could have done anything. He could have been anyone. And when you said that, I thought like that's the thing, like that makes Ghostface so special.
Exactly.
Like anyone could be Ghostface. Anyone could put on the mask.
All right. It could be a random person in your town. It has nothing to do with you. Probably saw them one time. Yeah. It's funny you say that, right? Because remember how
are you gonna reference
Scream 6, right?
Yeah.
A random guy. A random copycat killer, right? I don't even think he was thinking about Jenna Ortega and her sister's characters at all. I think he was just going off the original movies, like, oh, I want to be Ghostface, killed a random woman out of nowhere. You know?
Real quick, I want to ask, do you think you can have Scream without Cindy? Is there Scream without Cindy?
It's too late for that now. That's like saying having Jamie Lee Curtis. Oh, no, not having Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween. And I think they've tried it once. I think they tried it once. It didn't do so well, so they had to bring her back. And she's gonna have to keep doing those movies. They're like it's like seeing a Mission Impossible and Tom Cruise is not there. What's going on? It's like I need you to be here. You know? We can't do this without you. Now, does she have to still always play the same, what do you call it, role? Like in terms of like the main one at the front, like beating the villain? No. But she always has to be there until she dies. And I don't see them doing that. I don't see them killing Cindy. So.
Wait. Oh, yeah. And this movie, but wait. This movie made, I think it was $100 million. I'm not sure.
It did relatively well.
It did phenomenal. Yeah. It didn't do relatively well. It's one of like the It was it's one of the highest grossing Scream movies I think in the box office. I think in the first weekend. I don't know ever, but I know it did phenomenal. So you know what that means. We about to get another trilogy. But
also, not that I care about reviews. I rarely look at reviews before I watch a movie. But after I watched the movie, I just wanted to see. Most critics don't like the movie.
And most fans loved it, though.
So
damn, am I? What am I?
Who do you do the? I don't know. You have to be a blend.
No, I'm a fan, but am I? Was
fan.
I too hard on it?
I think. No, I think for a slasher movie, maybe it was a little too hard. Like for a movie.
Give me the depth.
A movie where we just killing teens because we're mad. Like,
what I would say is I haven't seen every Halloween. I've seen Halloween. Right, I've seen Halloween 1, and I've seen a couple Halloweens. Yeah. I've seen like Jason. I've seen like Nightmare, but I really appreciate your input. Where it's like, listen, a slasher, you don't gotta get creative. Same thing, different day. So I appreciate you grounding me in that. I'll say that.
But your points are still valid because again, you watched all 7, and again, we know that Scream's a commentary. On many parts of society. And since that's a thing that they keep doing, like they could have just like removed that part after 4, but they kept going.
And we gotta like do something new. I wrote in my notes that as we were watching it, it was getting worse and worse, or I felt like it was getting worse and worse. Because when you go from 4, I don't know, it depends. Like I did like 4, and then we get to 5. 5 was interesting, but what I said is it was getting worse and worse. But I was having more and more fun. I think what I meant when I wrote that was I felt like the killers maybe was getting worse and worse, and I was having more and more fun. I
would say the killings were getting back. They were back to back in this movie.
They were getting lazy.
There was barely any space in between.
When I say killings, I mean like killers. I felt like the killers, and I think because like I hated the killer for I hated the killer for 5 and 6. I hated, and I loved 5 until they revealed the killer. That heavily disappointed me because the killer was her boyfriend. I'm like, oh my god, it's literally the same thing as 1.
What was his?
I don't honestly. When they revealed the killers, and I don't like it, I rage quit. Like my brain shuts off. Like I don't fucking know. But I remember like feeling like in 5, I'm like, oh, this is so great. They're paying homage. What are they gonna do differently? And I remember when they unveiled the boyfriend being the killer, I was like, oh, this is the same fuck. And then mind you, like sorry, bleep that out. And it's like we're watching this like back to back every weekend, and then it reaches a point where it's like I'm watching the same movie over and over and over.
I would say.
And I do want to say, like, again, you didn't like that they did this, but they did this again for The Force Awakens. And I remember when they did it again when The Force Awakens first came out, you were hopeful. You were like, okay, that's fine.
What are we adding to the universe?
Yes, let's refresh this. Let's wait for the next one. And then the next one comes and it's like,
okay. We're doing something. I don't know where we're going. And then the 9th one came out. I was like, all right, y'all gave up.
But I do say this to say it's kind of like maybe it's the same thing. Like, so for Scream 5, it's like, okay, this is for the new generation. So we're just going to update it for people who didn't want to watch the original one. But I would say that. And then, but then with Scream 6, I didn't.
I'm trying to remember.
6, I didn't like the killer.
So the boyfriend in Scream 5, he wanted.
I don't know.
He wanted to make a new name for himself. Pretty much, he wanted to be Ghostface. So his thing was, I want to be a famous serial killer. That was his thing.
I was too pissed off and too drunk. By that point, which props to me to being good in this podcast, because I wanted to say after like we had like 7 bottles of wine, after 7 bottles of wine and 1 bottle of liquor, we went through all the screens. I think I was too angry and too drunk to even care anymore, to be honest. So you're holding that weight.
I would say 6, the killer makes more sense than 5, obviously, because you killed his son, and obviously it runs in the family, because if your son is bugged out, you're bugged out, and your other 2 kids are wilder.
I do want to say 6 was a little fun because I remember they hinted.
It's in New York,
of course, it's New York. And I do want to say they hinted it at the boy. Remember, they were like, "Where were you?" And I remember I was like, "Why are they being so mean to him? It's finals week. It's midterms because it's Halloween week, and around Halloween time is midterms.
It's midterms, right?
He was studying. You go to NYU, so I think when he was revealed as the killer, I was like, they got me.
He would have got you.
Yeah, he would have got me.
No, it's funny because they just say, "Oh, it was in New York." I take back what I said because I was like, "Oh yeah, we had Jason in the Bronx," but you know what? Maybe Scream in New York worked well.
This brings me to like our closing out question: like, is Scream stabbed now? Because I think that is funny. You were like, it's commentary on how off the rails it went, and like here we are, Ghostface takes New York, and that really wasn't. But as a New Yorker, like I loved it.
But I feel like it was integrated smoothly because, of course, the people that were responsible in Scream 5 came to New York. So it came with them. It wasn't just like a random, even though it was going to be random, right? If they never went, that boy in the beginning would have still been a serial killer. He would have been a new Ghostface, but who knows what. Him and his roommate, right? Who got killed off screen, which was a wild death because he was stuffed in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Also, to this day, I don't know why the main Ghostface killed him. Like, what was the purpose of his death?
I don't know.
Besides, he's like, "Oh, you think you could be a serial killer?" I was like, "Are you like saying you're not chopped up for this, or that was a very random death? It was more random than the first death with the boy and the professor lady."
But yeah, final thing,
right?
Commentary on AI. Thoughts on that?
You mean in the movie?
In Scream 7, yeah.
Oh, I mean,
they tried it.
It wasn't good AI. It was face.
And
you know how long we've been able to like put someone's face over some, like, that's been around for so long.
Deep fakes and
Give
stuff.
me something real. Like, not to bring this movie in because
do you think they should have brought Stu back?
No.
Okay.
But it would have been fun. Okay. But they would have had to do a lot of explaining because they saw him. He
couldn't survive.
He called out the grave.
He could.
He would be.
He couldn't survive getting a TV dropped on his head.
But if he called out the grave, then I would have to put him into Michael Myers territory.
Then it would have been Palpatine.
Yeah. It would have been a Palpatine. It would have been a Palpatine coming out of the blue and be like, "Hey, I'm the killer, and I've been waiting for how long? 26 years to get my revenge."
Yeah. I also do want to say, what was the final Star Wars called again? Okay. Well, I do want to say for Star Wars 9.
The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, I do want to say for the Rise of Skywalker, it is also this idea that the fanboys had a lot of, and girls, the fans, had a lot of like sway in the direction they decided to go.
I don't think they had enough sway. Because I don't know any fans that wanted that ninth one. That was that was out of left field.
So I felt maybe I know we made a lot of Star Wars parallels, but I also think it's interesting because Stu's a fan favorite.
Yes,
so they kind of but
that's why he was.
They hinted that he was back.
He's back.
But that's our show. Are you excited?
Are you excited for Scream 8?
For Scream 8?
We haven't announced it yet.
I don't know, actually. I think when we first did the marathon, I was really over it. I was like,
I don't think those movies are meant to be watched.
burn this shirt now.
I don't think those movies have been watched to watch back to back. I don't think that was the purpose.
I also had like a midlife I was like, who am I? Because I was the girl who liked Scream, but now who am I?
No, you was like, I love it. And mind you, she's always talking about how this is like perfect. Like she's like, I love Scream. It's like the cornerstone of horror
Halloween.
For me.
And I was like, I hate this film, right? But I think after we sat on it and we discussed it, like, why not? It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
Why not?
I enjoy it. The deaths never get too bad because I can't do like what they call horror porn or whatever.
Yeah.
So you kill somebody, get it done, move on. No torturing and stuff. I don't need that.
Yeah.
And I think he does it good.
Oh, they production was bad, so a lot of stuff. It was hard, I think, to make this movie successful. But I hope that if they do another movie or another trilogy, which I feel like they're gonna do, they really take some time to like make something like good, and something fun and new and fresh and creative. And that's our show. Thank you so much. All right. Please comment below saying what is your favorite Scream, or who was your favorite killer?
Yes, and who is the best killer of all the Ghostface?
Yeah,
I got my favorite already. I'm not gonna say it though.
Oh, and I got mine. So
right.
That's our show.